pneumatically for controlling and protection of electrical power system correspondingly. As a modern power system deals with massive currents, the special attention ought to be given during designing of circuit breaker for safe interruption of arc produced during the operation of circuit breaker. This was the fundamental definition of circuit breaker. Working principle of circuit breaker. The circuit breaker generally consists of fixed contacts and moving contacts. In normal on condition of circuit breaker, these two contacts are actually connected to each other due to applied mechanical pressure on the moving contacts. There is an arrangement stored potential energy in the operating mechanism of circuit breaker which is free if switching signal is given to the breaker. The potential energy can be stored in the circuit breaker by dissimilar ways like by deforming metal spring, by compressed air, or by hydraulic pressure. But whatever the foundation of potential energy, it must be released during operation. Release of potential energy makes sliding of the moving contact at extremely fast manner. All circuit breaker have in use coils, tripping coils and close coil, whenever these coils are energized by switching pulse, and a plunger inside them displaced. But whatever the foundation of potential energy, it must be released during operation. Release of potential energy makes sliding of the moving contact at extremely fast manner. All circuit breaker have in use coils, tripping coils and close coil, whenever these coils are energized by switching pulse, and a plunger inside them displaced. After a cycle of operation of circuit breaker the total stored energy is released and hence the potential energy again stored in the working mechanism of circuit breaker by means of spring charging motor or air compressor or by any other means. Till now we have discussed about mechanical working principle of circuit breaker. But there are electrical character of a circuit breaker which also should be considered in this discussion of operation of circuit breaker. Let's have a discussion on electrical principle of circuit breaker. The circuit breaker has to take large rated or fault power. Due to this large power there is always dangerously high arcing between moving contacts and fixed contact during operation of circuit breaker. Again, as we discussed earlier, the arc in circuit breaker can be quenching safely if the dielectric strength between the current carrying contacts of circuit breaker increases rapidly during every current zero crossing of the alternating current. The dielectric strength of the media and between contacts can be increased in numbers of ways, like by compressing the ionized arcing media since compressing accelerates the deionization process of the media. By cool the arcing media since cooling increase the resistance the ionized arcing media by fresh gases. Hence a numbers of arc quenching process should be drawn in operation of circuit breaker. Types of circuit breaker. According different criterion there are different types of circuit breaker. According to their arc quenching medium the circuit breaker can be separated as. According to their arc quenching media the circuit breaker can be divided as 1. Oil circuit breaker 2. Air circuit breaker 3. SF6 circuit breaker 4. Vacuum circuit breaker. According to their services the circuit breaker can be divided as 1. Outdoor circuit breaker 2. Indoor breaker. According to the operating mechanism of circuit breaker they can be divided as 1. Spring-operated circuit breaker. 2. Pneumatic circuit breaker. 3. Hydraulic circuit breaker. According to the voltage level of installation types of circuit breaker are referred as 1. High voltage circuit breaker. 2. Medium voltage circuit breaker. 3. Low voltage circuit breaker. Thanks for watching.